Howdy, guys, and welcome to night 21 of the overnight feed recaps for season 24 Big Brother, and welcome to Cliff Notes. All right, we had the veto ceremony on Monday. They lost the backyard yesterday morning, so I wasn't really sure what kind of conversations were taking place or were going to take place. Kind of a holding pattern to some degree. Half the house knows what's going on, half the house doesn't know. We had some conversations because of that, but I'm ready for Thursday to come along. Let's see the fireworks start back up again. But let's talk about what did happen last night. Let's start with the conversation between Amira, Alyssa, Jasmine, and Brittany. Amira is saying that after she stays in the house, after she wins HOH, that she's going for Turner, put Turner on the block as her target, and against Jasmine, because no one wants Jasmine to go. It'll make an easy week to get Turner out of the house instead. Well, here's the thing. With this conversation, it's obvious the leftovers are still a secret to the girls group at this point in time. They just haven't quite figured it out yet. Now, a few things that were mentioned during this conversation. One, they don't trust Daniel and Nicole anymore. Not that they're not going to kind of work with them. They just don't trust them anymore. They think that Turner is all alone, and also saying how much they trust Michael. Again, they're missing a lot of things that are going on in this house right now. Brittany is part of this conversation. She almost immediately after this is over runs up and tells Michael everything that's going on. She's excited that she's being included in this girls group, even though she knows she's at the bottom end of it, and even though she knows that they're just being nice to her to try to hold on to her vote and everything else, but she still's like, they included me in the conversation. So she's passing that on to Michael at this point in time. They haven't put the puzzle pieces together yet. All right, we've got Kyle in the HOH room telling Michael that if he wins HOH, he's putting Indy and Alyssa up, which is interesting. I guess the showman's isn't going to happen, right? Kyle spent a lot of time yesterday talking. I think he finally had a conversation with Alyssa saying, maybe let's cool it until we get out of the house, something along those lines. But he's also told other people within his group that he's got nothing special for Alyssa. So yeah, he's telling Michael, put Indy and Alyssa up. If she goes home, she goes home. All right, we got Nicole cleaning the fridge because it has a fish smell. She's got Joseph and I think Monty in there. She tells them going forward she wants them to help clean the fridge as well. You can't be too bossy inside the Big Brother house. But I gotta say, it makes me cringe now every time I see Nicole cleaning out the pantry or fridge or anything else after having seen her throw away so much food in the past. Doesn't look like she did as much this time. She was smelling all the food, saying, yeah, that's good, that's not, things like that. So there you go. All right, we've got Joseph and Monty in the storage room. Monty's telling Joseph about the Poe Pack, the Poe Alliance, the Paloma Posse, whatever you call it. Monty's telling Joseph about it, just as a heads up before Thursday and all that. Joseph's not upset with it. He said, yeah, I know, everyone's forming an alliance. It's fine. But he does tell Monty, says, look, Amira has already said that if she does get voted out on Thursday, she's going to reveal everything. She's going to blow up everyone's game as she's walking out the door, wondering if anyone has ever done that before, but she's planning to spill all the beans as she's walking out the door. So this idea of everyone kind of revealing these past alliances and everything to each other ahead of the Thursday eviction vote is making more and more sense, knowing what Amira is talking about doing. We'll see. Sometimes people make those threats, and then at the end, they go out a little more friendly and all. It's going to be fun if she tries to blow everything up, and everyone just says, yeah, we know. All right, Daniel and Taylor are talking. Now, this was interesting. They're a huge blow up. Daniel saying a lot of things about Taylor. At one point, he told her that she was responsible for sending Paloma home early. So they finally have the conversation. This is in the golf bedroom. Taylor's in bed. Daniel comes in, talks to her. He's sort of, kind of, maybe offering up some kind of almost an apology type deal. At least he's backtracking about some of the comments he made. He tells her that he does not think that she's responsible for the Paloma situation. Although then later he says something about, it probably exasperated it, but you're not responsible. That was outside the house type situations, everything he assumes. Taylor's taking the high road. She's saying, look, you and I, we're always going to be friends. I get you. I appreciate you coming to me and all that. But she also warns them. She says, just so you know, I suspect that when you get out, social media may be coming at you pretty hard. You know, you raising your voice to a black woman. And so she's trying to give him a heads up that things may not be all like rosy when he gets out of the house. But she's telling him, saying, but look, I'll support you. I've always got your back, regardless of what happens outside the house. So Taylor definitely taking the high road in this particular conversation. Later to the cameras, she mentions that she doesn't think that a person should be judged based on a very short moment of their worst behavior. I agree completely. You're playing a game that sometimes is designed to bring out the worst behavior. And so she's recognizing that, and I agree completely. You got to take the whole person, and not just a few things that happen in the house. So again, Taylor's talking to the cameras about that. All right, we got Jasmine and Turner in the HOH room. Jasmine is saying that she and Amira never talk game, that she wants to vote out Terrence to save Amira and all that. But for the most part, Jasmine's just blowing a lot of smoke to Turner. He's doing the same thing to her. It's not a serious conversation. They're both trying to spin their particular position. All right, we've got Taylor and Brittany talking. Taylor is saying that she wants Daniel and Nicole out. So yeah, she's got his back, and I think she does. But she also recognizes that there's a few people in the house that certainly have not done Nicole any favors while she's been in there. So she wants Daniel and Nicole out if she gets the opportunity. Taylor's also, this is up in the lounge, the bumper pool kind of lounge room, if I recall. Taylor has a long conversation with Brittany, just trying to figure out how everything went so screwy those first couple of weeks, how everything blew up, how suddenly Paloma is saying you're a bad person and this and that. And she's just trying to figure out where things went wrong. And it was just a lot of stuff going on. All right. We've got Kyle and Michael talking, trying to figure out if it's possible to get a near unanimous or unanimous vote on Thursday's night's eviction to send Amira out. They're thinking if they could do that, then it protects the knowledge of the leftover alliance. If you get close enough to a unanimous vote, then everyone can just use the excuse of, I just had to vote with the House. I knew which way it was going. I had to vote with the House. So they're trying to figure out if there's a way they can do it. But Kyle's not so sure that that's possible, because he says the problem is that the Paloma's alliance, they think they've got the votes. They think that Amira is staying. So they're going to vote to keep Amira because of that. And so as a result, you aren't going to be able to see that unanimous vote. You're probably going to see a much tighter split vote instead. But they are talking about this idea that maybe they could get Daniel and Nicole to flip and vote out Amira as well. Because if they do that, then they're thinking that the Paloma's pack is going to be more upset at Daniel and Nicole for flipping on that alliance than they will necessarily the guys and the leftovers, who they may not still assume are tight in a group together. I think that's smart. We've already heard a lot of the girls talking about that they don't trust Daniel and Nicole. If they see the two of them flip at this point, they could become huge targets for a whole lot of the House. Everyone may want Daniel and Nicole out before we get through with the next few days. All right, we've got Nicole asking Taylor if she is sure that Brittany will vote to keep Amira. And Taylor's playing her role and saying, I assume so. I think so. I mean, I haven't heard one way or the other, but I'm assuming that Brittany's voting to keep Amira. Yeah, not so much. All right, everyone is enjoying a Nicole cooked dinner, except for Alyssa and Indy, who are in slop. Alyssa's still hanging out in the dining room and interacting. Indy's doing everything she can to avoid the kitchen, to avoid the dining room while they eat. Indy's going to be very happy when have-nots end on Wednesday. All right, we've got Nicole and Amira in the HOH room talking about the fact that come Thursday, they're going to learn everyone's true loyalties, true alliances, true relationships once these votes come in. They are worried about where Brittany really is at. And a lot of that hinges, well, on a lot of things, but part of it is because Brittany came to, I think, Nicole and said that Terrence was counting his votes to Brittany, that he kind of feels like maybe he's got the votes, so he's counting them to Brittany. And they're both saying, why would he come to Brittany since Brittany's on our side? Well, maybe she's not on your side. So they're wondering about that and saying, Brittany probably just forced herself on Terrence, and Terrence kind of just spilled what he's thinking and all that. because they truly do think they still have Brittany to count on for one of the votes. All right, there's lots of the houses meeting in the golf room. They're planning their, after the season is over, meetups in Fort Lauderdale and Las Vegas, New Orleans, all these different places are brought up. It's easy to talk about it in the house when you're in day 21, night 21. A little tougher after the season's completed and everyone's gone through a whole 3 months of backstabbing and lying and conspiring and everything else. But for now, they're all planning to meet up and be the truest of friends after they get done. All right, lots of talk about The Bachelor, nails, pageants, other things that are completely non-game related. So I kind of skipped past some of that. All right, we got Jasmine and Amira talking. They're worried about Daniel's vote. Again, they're not trusting Daniel and Nicole anymore. They're worried about Daniel's vote. Amira said, I'm not counting on it. I think he may flip. I'm just not going to count on it. Jasmine is saying that Daniel was telling her that Terrence had made some comments, and based on those comments, Daniel was saying there's just no way he could vote out Terrence at this point in time. So Amira's saying, yeah, I don't have his vote. But she still says, doesn't matter. 100% I got the votes to stay. Well, she thinks she's got Michael, Kyle, Brittany, and Monty all voting to keep her. There's got to be some surprise people come Thursday. Nicole is telling Monty that for the guys to be safe, Taylor can't win HOH because she'll come after Monty. That's the story that Monty's been spinning this whole time, is Taylor's coming after me. Why in the heck would I not want Taylor gone? They don't know about the relationship that Monty has now developed through the leftover alliance with Taylor. All right, we've got Amira and Kyle in the storage room. She's direct in her pitches. She comes right out to Kyle and says, look, are you voting to keep me? And he says, yeah, of course I am. We're in a pose alliance together. Sure, I'm going to vote to keep you. Kyle is reassuring Amira that she isn't pulling a pooch because she has the votes to stay. So just because she's on the block, you're good. You got the votes. Don't worry about it. Yeah, certainly don't campaign about it because you're good, Amira. All right, Jasmine and Taylor are talking. Jasmine is saying that she wants to win HOH next week. I think everyone wants to win HOH next week based on this week. But Jasmine's saying she wants to win HOH next week so she isn't on slop. So there's her motivation. She does not want to be on slop. It's going to be her turn. If she doesn't win, it's going to be expected for her to take her role. I was trying to think who hadn't been on slop in this house yet. Jasmine hasn't. Brittany hasn't. I don't remember if Taylor has or not, but yeah, it's going to be Jasmine's turn for HOH, and that may be a tough week for Jasmine. So now she's got her motivation to win HOH. All right, Nicole again telling Joseph that he needs to stop worrying about the house and what the house is doing and play his own game. Joseph's playing his own game. He's playing a pretty damn good game right now, I think. All right, Jasmine's telling Amira and Monty and Michael that Turner only had 3 people that he told about his decision. She's already said that Daniel was the first one. And then she's him-hawing away. She's saying that it was a guy. At first she says she only knew 1. Then she says she knows all 3. And I still couldn't figure out. But she's saying it's Daniel, it's a female, and then someone else. And I think the assumption is the female's probably Nicole. And then maybe I heard mention that maybe Amira herself had been told and she's just not letting on. So she's still talking about that. There's a lot of talk about who knew and who didn't over the past 24 hours. She is saying that because Turner didn't give the house a heads up about his plans, that now he's a target and how dumb that was. Well, Jasmine's not realizing that that's the plan, that Turner wants the leftovers want the blame all placed on Turner so that maybe Turner gets put up and then Jasmine gets sent home instead. So Jasmine's missing that part of it. They don't want Daniel or Nicole winning HOH. I think most of the house is feeling that way at this point in time. Taylor is telling Joseph that she wants the 6-5 votes, and her idea of this is she wants it to look like all the girls voted to save Amira, and so she wants this close vote as opposed to some of the guys who would like to hide the leftovers by getting a unanimous vote. Joseph is telling Brittany that she was the next target after Taylor, which is pretty much true. Amira is telling Nicole that Kyle's keeping me. I talked to Kyle. Kyle says he's going to keep me, Nicole, but he's going to tell anyone who asks that he's just 50-50. He doesn't know, but I got his vote. Amira is saying that the house still wants Taylor out. Nothing has really changed. It's just now Terrence will go first, and then they'll go back to the original game plan and get Taylor out. Nicole is kind of laughing, saying, yeah, Turner didn't realize that he didn't have the votes to get Amira out. That was kind of dumb on his part. He thought he had the votes. He doesn't. So now it's just a wasted HOH for him, and we'll be back to plan before too long. Daniel's telling Nicole that he's a little bit worried. They have been talking about the idea of maybe going ahead and voting out Amira because they would like to hold on to Terrence. But Daniel's telling Nicole they can't really vote out Amira if the guys decide to keep Amira, because she's too powerful. And if they're the only ones who voted against her, she'll come for them, and they just can't afford that. So a little bit worried the guys may flip and actually keep Amira. Don't think that's a worry that you got to worry about, a risk that you got to worry about. I think the guys probably will be voting along the same line. Sounds like you're voting, which is to vote out Amira. All right, Nicole's telling Daniel that she thinks Monty wants the girls out, even though he is saying that Turner is actually his target. Nicole, as much as people are missing some of the pieces this week, I think Nicole is closer than most people to figuring out a lot of it, and she's seeing through some of this stuff. So she knows that Monty is wanting the ladies gone, but regardless of what he says. There's a long conversation with Joseph and Nicole and Daniel, but Joseph's just kind of saying to them what they want to hear. He's all on board with their side against Taylor and all that. So it's there's not a lot to report there. He's just kind of giving them the info they want. But we had that. And then finally, most house guests are in bed by 5 o'clock or so, Big Brother time, 7 o'clock Houston time. Most of them are in bed, but Nicole and Daniel are still up in the Jetsons' bedroom talking back and forth. Same old, talking about votes, twist, who they want, who they don't, and all of that. And I figured at that point, got to call it quits and give you all the update. So there you have it, guys. A few conversations. The key takeaway, the old school alliance, the girls still just don't understand how tight the leftovers have become. They're going to find out on Thursday. But until then, guys, y'all have a fantastic Wednesday. Tomorrow is eviction day, and it's going to get exciting. Guys, y'all have a great one. Cheers, my friends. SKD 143